Do you want to learn how to secure funding for your nonprofit without dipping into your own wallet? Are you struggling to find funding sources? Well, guess what? You are definitely not alone. Finding funding can be tough, but with the right strategies, you can unlock valuable resources to support your incredible work. Hello, everyone. I'm Sharice Holden, your nonprofit bestie, and welcome to the Next Level Nonprofit Network, the channel where we help you to take your nonprofit from good to great. Today, we're diving deep into the world of grants, and I'll be showing you exactly how to find all those perfect grants for your organization so that you can get funded. Let's go. So we've all been there. We've all felt really overwhelmed by just trying to find funding sources, grant resources. We've all been there. But don't worry, because in this video, I'm going to equip you with the knowledge and the tools to navigate the funding landscape with confidence. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you the roadmap to finding the perfect funding, which are grants, by the way, for your nonprofit. So let's just jump right into all of the goodness, because that's what you're here for, right? Right. So, first things first, I always like to say before we embark on our grant adventure, we need to take a moment to take a quick self assessment. It's really quick, guys, so don't get too worried about it. So, think about it like this. On one hand, you want to know about what are your organization specific funding sources needs, right? What do I actually need? What programs or projects require financial support? And how much funding am I realistically seeking? But then on this side, you're thinking, well, what really makes my organization unique? What specific cause am I really addressing? So here's what's the gold part here. This is where you really need to clearly define your niche, which will help you target funding sources like grants that will align with your mission so that you can maximize your chances of success. Now, here's the part where you have to have that come to Jesus moment. If you are not sure how you're going to answer these questions, you may want to take a moment to pause for the cause and go download my free grant readiness checklist. Because remember, grant grant makers want to invest in organizations that make a real difference. So making sure that you're ready by crafting a compelling narrative about your impact is potential here. And you get all of that when you download the grant readiness checklist. All right. Next thing, you want to start thinking about charting out your granting landscape. So you're like, granting landscape, what is that? I'm going to tell you. We're about to explore the vast and exciting world of grant opportunities. You get a grant, you get a grant, you get a grant. Everybody gets a grant. No, that's not true. Grants are hard works, my friend. So I don't want to set you up for failure by telling you that. But there are some ways that you could go about getting some grant resources, but you need to know where to look. So let me tell you about a couple of the places that you should be looking. The first thing is government grants. Wow. Yes, you might be eligible for government grants. So if you were to go to grants.gov, it has a treasure trove of federal funding sources and opportunities for every cause. Each agency has its own criteria, so you want to be sure to research carefully. You got me? Good. All right. So the next thing you want to think about is private foundations. So don't underestimate the power of a private foundation. So you can find these by looking on websites such as Candid or GuideStar. Those will be your best friends. Well, don't go replacing me. I'm still your nonprofit bestie. But platforms like these really offer detailed information on private foundations and their grant making priorities, right? Now, some of these platforms do have fees, so you might want to consider going to your local library to get free access to those platforms. Now, here's the secret sauce that I think a lot of people overlook. Are you listening? Are you really listening? Okay, great. So remember your local love. Think about, where do you live? Many local communities have their own foundations that really offers grant opportunities to local nonprofits who are doing amazing work. So you want to start looking around your local resources, and you might be able to find that perfect match for funding, especially if you're a new organization. Look local, think local. Now, I want you to keep this in mind. Grant research takes time and dedication. So I want you to start regularly scheduling out time to explore these opportunities because it does take a little bit of time to build that perfect portfolio. All right? Are you still with me? Because I've got more to share and I want to make sure you're still with me. Okay, good. Because here's the next tip that I have for you is corporate giving programs. So think about sort of like your favorite corporation. Maybe you're thinking about your Target, maybe you're thinking about something else, but many companies have corporate giving programs that support nonprofits that are aligned to their values. So you want to start researching all of those potential corporate partners whose missions intersect with yours, all right? And trust me on this one. You might be surprised to find out all of the opportunities that are available just by looking at corporate places. Here's a quick tip. I always like to look at the places that I actually frequent. So if I'm shopping there, I'm going to go to their website and check for corporate funding sources. All right, here's another one. Don't forget the power of crowdfunding. So platforms like GoFundMe or Kickstarter, that might be a realistic way for you to get started, especially if you are extremely new and you really haven't had time to really build up your programs and your portfolio to really show your impact. That might be a really great resource for you. All right. So this is what I also like to call secret sauce. Secret sauce is I want you to consider thinking about leveraging the power of your network. Yes, your network. You know people. Trust me, you do. So think about this. When you build your strong connections, it's really good. It's going to be a game changer for your organization because networking with other nonprofits in your field would just really open up your mind to what's really out there because nonprofiters, they really do share resources. So I'm in the nonprofit space. So I'm always telling my other nonprofit friends about the grant opportunities or funding sources that are out there. Like sharing is caring. I don't see you as competition. I see you as how can I help you rise? So consider your networking opportunities and getting in those community groups with other nonprofit makers. Okay. So another thing you want to consider is getting on websites like Council of Nonprofits and idealist.org that offer workshops and webinars and all of those things because they might also be hip to give you the inside scoop of, oh, this national organization or this national foundation typically rolls out this grant each year. And so by attending those sessions, you'll be able to know what's going on when it's happening, but also consider this, they'll also be able to equip you with some skill sets that you might not have at that moment. So you will be really empowered to make sure that you're in those types of rooms, such as the webinars, the workshops, and all of the things. So I've told you where to go to find all of the grants and all of the funding, right? Okay. So now we have to take it to the next level because this is next level nonprofits, right? Next, you want to do is actually apply what you've learned here. So you want to apply this strategically. And I want you to think about putting this into action. And remember, quality over quantity is key here. Don't spread yourself too thin, but taking the time to do that research up front will allow you to make sure that when you're looking at the different types of opportunities that you are actually making sure that there's a mission alignment. Remember, that's in our checklist. If you haven't downloaded the checklist, download the checklist. It's in the comments, all right? It's in the description here. So once you've identified that wonderful opportunity, first things first is you want to read the guidelines and follow them carefully, right? You want to make sure that there is mission alignment. You want to make sure that all of the things that they're asking for, you can provide that, right? The key thing here is that when you're writing your narrative, you want to make sure you are highlighting your impact. You want to talk about the positive change your organization is creating and how their funding would really contribute to your mission. So you want to showcase your organization's strong governance, your financial management, your team expertise, all of the things. This is the place where you really want to shine. Now, remember, keep this in mind. Grant writing is an iterative process. So don't get discouraged if you receive a rejection. We've all felt that sting of, I applied for this grant. I knew that there was a mission match and I didn't get it. It happens to all of us, right? It's happened to me several times. But you take that information. Sometimes you're allowed to able to send an email to the funder to find out what could have made your proposal a little stronger. I would definitely encourage you to do that, right? Right, because these are things of how you're going to be able to improve your next application or your next proposal. Okay? You got me? Are you following? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Okay, good, 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 good. Because I have way more for you. Now, we're going to talk about a couple of things that's actually featured in our checklist. Because by now, I know you've already downloaded it, right? Right. Because you guys are good students. You're not just wasting your time here. You're actually putting in the work. So one of the things that you want to have already ready to go, no matter what you're applying for, is a powerful narrative. This is starting with a compelling story about the problem your organization addresses and the positive impact that you're making, right? Always. You want to also outline your project goals and objectives in a way that aligns with the grant maker's priorities. So you want to be specific and measurable. So this is when we're using that SMART acronym: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound. Next things up, you want to have a plan. Can we do it? Yes, we can. First, we have to make a plan. So you want to demonstrate this by having a well-defined plan that includes your project goals, your timelines, activities, resource allocation, all of the things. It's in the checklist. Of course, you need a strong budget. You want to have a detailed budget that clearly outlines how you're planning to use that grant funding. And if you have some really big expenses, you might want to footnote it and provide justifications for that part. Any grant applications also going to ask you about your team. So you want to highlight the skills and experience the teams will lead to your project, emphasize their qualifications and their track record and all of the things, all of the things. But make sure you do this. Hear me. Read the grant application guidelines carefully and make sure your proposal actually adheres to all of the formatting. So if they're asking for a PDF, give them a PDF. Don't give them a Word doc. If they're asking you to combine all of the resources and documents into one PDF, do just that, okay? So make sure you don't want to be disqualified because of simply not reading and following the instructions, all right? Now, you've done all of that and you submitted your proposal. I'm done. No, you're not. There's more work to do. All right. So after you've submitted that proposal, you want to make sure that you are following up with the grant maker after the deadline to express your continued interest. You want to stay connected. So you want to sign up for the grant maker's email list or newsletter so that you can stay informed about the funding priorities and potential future opportunities. Okay. You got me? Good. Because guess what? I think that, not even I think, I know by following these steps and staying very persistent, you can significantly increase your chances of securing grant funding and stop dipping into your own pockets to fund this amazing work that you do, right? Because that's what we're here for, right? Right. So there you have it. It's all there for you. Finding funding for your organization may seem challenging, but with the right strategies that I've laid out here, my friend, you can unlock valuable funding to fuel your mission and make a positive impact on this world without using your own money. That's the most important part. Without using your own money. All right? So, as always, I want you to remember this. I'm your nonprofit bestie. You are not alone in this journey. We're here to support you every step of the way. I'm here. Your nonprofit bestie, Sharif, is here. So if there's anything that I can do to help you along your journey, you let me know. Just leave a comment below and share your biggest takeaway about finding funding resources like grants or fundraising strategies. And let's figure this thing out together, okay? And remember, don't forget to download the grant readiness checklist, because remember, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready, all right? So thanks for stopping by. I'll see you next time. And as always, subscribe to Next Level Nonprofit Network channel for more valuable resources and tips how to take your nonprofit to the next level. Thank you for joining us. Keep making a difference. Bye.